was funny.
Oh boy.
Is it?
Am I working here? Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday night. Y'all know what that means. That's what JPJ would say. Am I working? Am I choppy? Am I good, Alex? Give me something. He's not doing anything, which means I don't. Anyway, it's Thursday night. It's Between Two Beards. You know what that means. He's over here saying the phone was better. Yeah, that might have to be. We might have to switch back. Of course, we get this killer guest, Taryn From Accounting, the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion, and my setup decides to completely butcher things. So let's, while I stall, try to actually start the
This seems to be like
welcome to the show.
our thing.
This is super. Yes,
How
our
can
thing
you
is it
screw
never
up a
works
show?
the way it's supposed to.
Do you need me to banter a little bit while you get
hang with us?
All right. Hey, everybody.
Maybe.
Welcome to Between Two
Watch
Beards.
this.
It is Thursday night.
Watch this.
It is 8 p.m. We're off to a great start here. Hello, I'm Alex. I'm not supposed to be here because I'm only the producer of this show. But because Pluggo has terrible, terrible internet, like we know he does, I'm here and I'm joined by our guest tonight, Taryn From Accounting. Hello, Taryn. How are you? And what's going on with the beard? I'm sure people aren't used to seeing you with that thing. What's
But I bet they're loving it because I was telling you guys earlier, like once I put this beard on, I feel myself. Like this is how I should look. So I'm doing really good. It's super, super hot here in Edmonton. I've got like the fan going. I'm sweating, plus all the technical stuff, so I'm double sweating.
hopefully the beard doesn't sweat off.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of. Doused it in like freaking setting spray, so it'll stay.
Let's see if this Joker is working here. Hey guy. Hey fella.
Gotta be something here. I'm on the phone. I can't see anything. Producer side. Is anybody?
Well, that's why I'm here.
No. Of course, this would happen. Go figure. I love the beard, Taryn. Lawrence is in the chat. What's up, Lawrence? Have some technical difficulties. So we're working on the computer right now. We're gonna see if I can get it going up and running so the whole show isn't this terrible angle of me like down here.
It looks good.
Yeah, you look better than you've looked all night. So.
Oh wow! Thanks, Alex. Why don't we let you anyway? We have Taryn From Accounting here. I'm sure Alex already went through all of that. How are you doing, guys? How is everybody doing as I try to figure this problem out?
Good. We're chilling. Me and Alex are getting to know each other, so it's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her zodiac sign next and just go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It only happens on Thursdays. I don't know what it is, and every time. Yeah, typical Pluggo.
Yep.
Every time Alex or JPJ is on vacation, everything goes to shit. So
I'm not going to let you down, JPJ. I got this.
I mean, you have a better beard than he does. That's for sure.
JPJ doesn't even have to go on vacation for it to go as terrible as this. So you know.
Wow, Alex is just going to take shots.
Well, I mean, I have to. You know.
You understood the assignment absolutely. Like that, I thought when I saw the posts on social media, I thought it was a filter, and I was like, "That's cool." And then she said, "No, she shows up. It's there. It's real. She grew that herself." She said.
Yeah.
How long did that take to grow in?
Not long. I've got a lot of testosterone, I think. Wait, is it testosterone that grows a beard? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You're talking, I don't know science.
Full of it.
Alex, you have to read some of these comments. I can barely see them.
I am just, I'm hoping you can figure out whatever is going on with you, but we got Astrid in the chat. We got Turbo Talk Carl. We've got JPJ. This is Smart Mouth.
This is your moment.
Yeah. This is my moment. Oh God. Welcome to Sunday brunch.
Whoa, what's going on?
JPJ, enjoy the vacation. Have a great show, gang.
Enjoy whatever you're doing. Fill in.
He's legitimately like bummed that he can't be there.
We got dogs.
We got dogs. It's a madhouse on Thursday. Flagship show off the rails as I try to figure out how to work the internet in my home. Yeah.
Sir, did you unplug it and then plug it back in? Sir.
Yes.
Let me do a little IT here for you.
That's about my extent of my skills. So Mrs. Pluggo's actually
proud. So the brains of the household is taking care of it.
Nothing about me is the brains of anything. Taryn said before I got kicked here, this seems to be our theme. It's like when we get together, all haywire. It all goes haywire. Yes. Nothing works right. But we get the job done.
We were saying we should have called this episode Between Two Idiots.
Yeah. Rebrand the show. Start it over.
It would be me and Pluggo. You're not the idiot, so.
I don't know about that.
Fun fact, Spencer Love assumed that you're coming on tonight to teach me how to work a budget. I don't think that that's actually going to go down.
Absolutely not.
No, good, because I don't want to learn how to spend his money the right way, because I think I already do it the right way. We have killer guests like Taryn. As you saw, we lost our graphics because we just have a slew of killer guests that cost a lot of money. Taryn, I hope the check clears. If it doesn't, you'll see Spencer tomorrow. Make sure he knows what's going on at Love Pro Wrestling 6.
You know what? Jesus saves. We can spend.
There you go. I like that. There you go. I'll Spencer that next time. One of those financial meetings.
That's a good one. I like that. Well, without further ado, I'm going to get out of here because nobody wants to see my ugly face. So I'll be behind the glass. Well, thank you. I'll be behind the glass. Pluggo, if you need anything, you know where to find me.
I have no idea. I'm simply a guest. I've got no producer controls. I'm literally like a guest in my own show.
Don't worry. That's why I'm here, baby. This is why you don't pay me the big bucks.
Oh, my goodness. What a way to start. Well, Taryn, how are you? How's it going?
I'm awesome. I'm like I was saying earlier, it's so hot here in Edmonton. It's like plus 35, which would be like 82 degrees there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Conversion.
I'm sweating and I'm like, but it's awesome. It's good.
I was talking to somebody else the other day that from the up north, as they say, the great up north, and they were like, it is 37 degrees out, and I was like, that's cold where I'm from.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's right, you Americans do the Fahrenheit thing. Yeah.
Are you the only country that does that?
I believe so. Maybe there's a few others, but definitely we're one of the few, so we make it real difficult. So I was all excited to have you on the show. I didn't think everything was going to go completely haywire on my end right before the show. I thought I had it under control.
It's all good. We are where we are at this moment. So
we're going to wing it. So anybody in the chat that's got comments or questions or anything, lay it on us as I try to get set back up, because of course I'm Pluggo, and that's what happens when I try to do anything without JPJ.
I had this interview a couple weeks ago, and or maybe it was like a week ago or whatever, and it was live, and these guys were, and for some reason it wasn't connecting to like my video or my audio, and I could see them, but they couldn't see that I was in there. Okay. And I could see the one guy was just stressed and going like this, and I was like, oh my God, I'm coming, I promise. I just had to figure out what to do, and so that was pretty stressful. That took like 15 minutes out of our time just to like get this moron.
That's what's happening here. Well, you also had an interview with another moron a couple of times. Couldn't figure out how to ask questions.
I think that's
on the Patreon exclusive, lovewrestling.com/Patreon. Oh, I'm sorry, patreon.com/lovewrestling. Everything is out of whack today.
I think that took us like an hour and like a couple different phone calls. Like, that wasn't good enough. Boss said no.
Boss said no. Yeah, it was supposed to be this 5-minute quick interview talking about Love Pro Wrestling 6. Your match with Zoe Sager took us like 45 minutes.
This one person just commented, they said, it looks like, are you still on Windows 95?
Yes. Yeah, Lawrence, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. So being the Pluggo, being the person that I am, my wife was like, the internet's a little slow. And I was like, everything's fine on my end. I have no problem. I'm on my phone just doing my thing. And then I come down here and we get to talking on the pre-show and it's all laggy and I'm like, oh boy, so let me reset, and boom, everything goes out the window.
It'll come back.
I mean, if it doesn't, we'll wing it. We'll make it happen. So let's try to do this show the way that we had talked. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but I would love a wrestler's perspective on it, kind of, because it is a big news story that happened in the world of wrestling this week. Vince McMahon retired. And for a lot of us wrestling fans and a lot of wrestlers, I'd assume, you only know the Vince McMahon era and all the companies kind of try to model themselves after the benchmark. What was that first thought in your mind? And you're like, oh shit, Vince McMahon is gone. That's crazy. I never thought I'd see the day.
Honestly, for myself, like I remember, I think we were in Portland when we found out. We were just kind of walking down the street and Michael's like, oh shit, Vince McMahon just retired. And my instant thought was like, good. Like, I mean, I'm kind of over him. I'm not a fan anyways. And like, you know, after everything that's just come out, like in my eyes, see you later. Like there's just like no room for that anywhere ever, you know, and like that whole scandal and like paying off the women. And in my opinion, like it's that kind of like boys club and, you know, wielding your power over women is like done.
Right. No, for sure. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you there. I just, like I said, it was kind of a culture shock because that's all we know.
Yeah. I'm just very curious to see, like, hopefully, like, those, like, kind of behind the scenes things will change. But, like, it'll be very cool to see, like, in what direction the WWE goes now. Like, it's hard for me to think that things are going to change drastically because, you know, like, it's still in the family. And we all know, like, it's behind the scenes and, you know, who's pulling the strings at the end of the day. So who knows?
Oh, I'm with you. We'll see. I have a feeling a lot more bad's going to come out. Like I said, I didn't want to spend a ton of time on that. I just thought that was big. Got to talk about that. I don't know if anybody in the comments feels any kind of way. Obviously, keep the comments respectful. We only know what we know, so we're not going to speculate on things that may or may not be fact.
Yeah.
I'm struggling over here. I got all my notes. Everything is. I'm lost. I actually try to be professional for TFA, for Spencer. You know, he said, be professional. This is our Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion. And here I am. She even put
okay. Vince rubbed off ones.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's Turnbuckle Talk. Our boy Carl, Tuesday nights. You can catch him. Definitely. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a drastic change overnight. I don't think we're going to see things completely overhauled. But yeah, it's definitely big news. Kind of want to get perspective. So you said you're not really a fan. Is that so? That I guess would follow up because, like I said, I know I want you to co-host, but I kind of want to ask you a few questions and kind of get to know TFA, Taryn From Accounting. So you said you're not a fan, but how did you get started in wrestling? In this business, if you say you're not, are you just not a fan of WWE? Or are you just saying like I'm just not a fan, but I love to do it? You know, it's like I love to play the sport opposed to watch it.
Yeah, like I was a huge fan growing up as a kid. Like I was obsessed with wrestling, and then you know I think a lot of people kind of fell out of it for a little while, and then all I would do, I would just watch the pay-per-views with my friends, kind of when I got like back in my 20s and stuff, and. So I'd go to all the pay-per-views. So I kept up kind of that way. I didn't keep up with like all the storylines and everything like that on like regular weekly television. And then like my sister started wrestling. She married a wrestler, like an indie wrestler. And so I just kind of got in it through them. Because I was like, girl, you hated wrestling. I like wrestling. Why are you wrestling? So I was like, fuck it, if you can do it, I can do it. And so, yeah, like I just got into it and like quite quickly into my like training. I met Michael Richard Blaze, who's like the best trainer probably I would say in Alberta, 100%, you know, and he's just like the ultimate trainer. And he was trained by Tyson Kidd, and like they're still very, very close. So he gets a lot of input from Tyson, and he'll like send him or from TJ, and he'll send him our, you know, training videos and send him spots and stuff. And so we get lots of feedback from him as well, which is very cool. So yeah, once I got into it, it was just kind of like, I don't know if there's a saying for this, 2 feet on the ground running. Is there a saying for that?
Hit the ground running, something to that effect. 2 feet on the ground. We was booking. We were feet walking all the way to championships.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, what is that? Crawler 6. I'm having trouble seeing today because I'm all up in there like
my
that.
Cousin Ryan.
Ryan, welcome to the chat, Fred. It says, TFA, I love you like a cousin because you are. What kind of qualities would you look for in a manager / mouthpiece? That is a fantastic question.
What kind of qualities? I don't know. I don't love like talking. If you notice, like I've never cut a promo. I don't cut promos, and like, so that's something I definitely need to work on. So like, I would like somebody who could just like do that for me. And like, you know, I got everything else covered, but just like.
Well, how about this? That if you, TFA tomorrow night shows up at Love Pro Wrestling 6 with a manager, who would it be? Dream, you could pick any mouthpiece manager in the game, past, present. Who you taking?
I love Lana. She was my favorite. She like, that was like where she like stood out for me in the WWE. Like, yeah, like she was just so good at that. She was so good at managing. She was so good at doing like exactly what she needed to do and getting the crowd exactly where she needed them. I love Lana. I love Lana as a manager.
I agree. I think Lana was underrated, especially that early run with Rusev. You can't deny that. This internet thing is good. Oh, we might have progress. This is crazy. But let's circle back as I kind of get to know you a little bit. Hopefully we can get this show that we had planned on the ground here and running. But you had mentioned MRB as your trainer. How cool is that to kind of come full circle, all these metaphors tonight? And we're coming full circle. And you guys are the Challenge Champion and the Grand Champion of Love Pro Wrestling right now. Like, how cool is that to be, you know, a headlining champion with your trainer?
You know what? It's awesome. Like, it's so cool. And it's like, not just that, but we're like the clandestine society together with Stephen Crow. And like, we just get to hang out all the time now, and we get to travel together and do shows together and tag together. I remember a year ago, maybe not even a year ago, I was like, when I really want a match against Michael, like, when's that going to happen? And I didn't want to do it just because like I was asking for it. I just waited until he thought I was like ready. And so like to be able to have my first match with him and now be like on a team with him is just so cool, because like I really look up to him and he's my mentor in wrestling. So to be able to like stand beside him now is awesome. And to have Steven with us is even like cooler, because we're just like a little family, you know?
Oh, let's try this. Let's do it. Hey! That better? Am I working? Yeah.
Well, it seems better. It's just the sound has like the hey.
There we go. It's because I was still on the other screen. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, it seems to be better.
Working. Okay, all right. So as you were saying, you're hanging out. You got MRB, Stephen Crow. What's it like being a part of Love Pro Wrestling that is gaining so much buzz right now in the Canadian wrestling scene?
It's awesome. Like, Spencer is one of those like really cool, or like one of those promoters that like he really loves wrestling, and you can tell he loves wrestling just by like his enthusiasm. But he also loves wrestlers, you know what I mean? Like, he's always trying to put wrestlers over, which I just think is so important for me as a wrestler. Like, I want to work for somebody who wants me there and who can see like the things I bring to the table, you know, and who appreciate. Because like if you don't appreciate me, it's like don't book me, you know, and so I mean that's happened for sure. But like I just love working for somebody who like believes in the wrestlers and believes in what we're doing. So like Spencer's been awesome.
That's a good point. Call them wrestlers, doesn't matter where they wrestle. That's fair. I just like to, as somebody in the States, I am been with Love Wrestling for about a year, a little over a year now. And it down here, sometimes the Canadian wrestling scene, as much as it has a rich history, gets a little slept on. So I definitely like to bring that up, that I know that you guys are wrestlers no matter where you're at, but I just love to try to put over Canadian wrestling as much as possible, because I think it is a scene that down here needs more recognition, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think so too.
It's me, you know.
You can call me what you want.
Anyway, I think
I know that's a real
I think we're back. Yeah, Acto guys giving you that. Yeah, I think we're back in business here. I'm feeling better now. I got more. Yeah, I can see that beautiful beard even better. It's almost like GPJ didn't leave. Like we've got two beards here. It's like business as usual.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I don't know where you.
A little bit gray, but I don't have a lot of gray.
Awesome. So that if you want to pull off the full JPJ on this show, what you have to do is you go with the gray beard, but then you yell at Alex. Like that's all you do. You just yell at him. Like you go like this and you go, "What are you doing on the screen, Alex? Jesus, get off!" And then you just kick him off. Like that is true.
Anytime you put him up there, I'll yell at him.
Oh, really?
Jesus, Alex, what are you doing on the screen? Get out of here.
That's perfect. Now we got to have guys saying some Canadian independent promotions have some very big names to perform. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and trust me, and I will be the first person to admit it on this stream, or I'm never going to try to be that person that's like, oh, I know every single independent promotion in and out. Like, but I've got to know and learn quite a bit from being a part of Love Wrestling. Like, it's been very eye-opening to me. I know that there's like Love Pro Wrestling, RCW up there. IWS is another one that they talk about a lot. So yeah, I think that it's a good thing. I'll never slight anybody for getting into anything late. Like if you just discovered The Rock yesterday, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's another fan. Bring him to the fold. I'll never be like, oh, you weren't there for Rocky Maivia days.
Name is top 5 matches.
Yeah, come on. You can tell me where he wrestled back in 1999. No.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that you're in. I'm glad that you're a fan, and I love that. And that is what I try to do and try to bring up as much as I can. And we got Roundtable Pro Wrestling Pod saying, yo. Hey, yo. Watch this, Roundtable Pro Wrestling guy. Watch this.
Get out of here, Alex. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Astrid in that. Now that I can see what's going on, I'm feeling good. We're yelling at Alex. It's like it's another episode of Between Two Beards. And then have guy hopping in says, speaking of The Rock, have you ever noticed he looks like Dwayne Johnson? I could have swore those were different people, but you know what? You might be onto something there.
Are they the same person?
I mean, is The Rock is he technically The Rock, or does he go home and have people call him The Rock, or does he want to be called Dwayne? I don't know. We'll have to have him on the show one of these times. We got oh, thank you. We're trying.
Stop touching my damn buttons.
Hey, get out of here. I'm not allowed to touch buttons on the show.
Even Austin's pissed.
So is your dog Austin after Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah, obviously. It's Stone Cold Steve Poston, but I just call him Austin for short.
That's amazing. That is fantastic stuff. Well, this show got off to a really rocky start because apparently, I don't know, maybe I needed to pay, maybe I should stop blowing the budget and pay my internet bill. Maybe. It could have been what's going on here.
I'll crunch for you.
clearly this is kind of there's been a lot of wrestling news this week. So if anybody has anything that they specifically want us to talk about, please drop it in the chat. You know how interactive we can be. We always make sure that we take care of everybody in the chat as best that we can. Alex is yelling at me in the private chat. We should do a reset as a joke. You know what, Alex?
Real funny, Alex.
Get out of here. Funny. Get out of here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, go, get out of here. Taryn, can you show how to balance a budget?
No.
So let's just kind of go down that. Based on Astrid's question, how did Taryn From Accounting become the gimmick, if you will? What made you go, that's where I want to go? But you just told me you don't know how to balance a budget. So
honestly, like where I started out wrestling here in Edmonton it's like this wrestling school that's very like old school wrestlers, and like they don't take, I don't know if they take, anyways, women's wrestling. It was just, the guy actually told me, he was like, women's wrestling is like midget wrestling. It's just a sideshow. And I was like, wow, oh, cool, great. And so like when we were like coming up with names and stuff, of course they were throwing out the like, how about like Sexy Sarah or like this, like, and I was like, that's not my jam. That's not my vibe at all. So like, I went to a couple friends and I was like, and I've got some friends in the drag community. And like my one friend is always just coming up with these drag names. He would always just post them and be like, these great punny, like fun drag names. So I kind of reached out to him and some other friends, and finally I asked my friend Laura, I was like, I need a wrestling name, and like I don't know who I am yet, and like I don't know where I want to go, but I don't want to take myself too seriously, and I'm never going to be like, a sexy booty wrestler, like, because like that's not me, that doesn't suit my aesthetic. And so she was like, well, what about like Taryn From Accounting, because there's this drag queen from Australia, and I think her name is like Karen from Finance or something like that. And I was like, well, my name is Taryn, and I'll never forget it, because sometimes like I got a pea brain and I'm not very smart, and like I can't remember two names. So I was like, yeah, that would actually really work. And I kind of like passed it by some people. And I think DJ Z was like, I was sitting with him at the time having dinner because he was down for a show. What's his name now? Joaquin
Wild. Yeah, he's in NXT doing the, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on their name, but the Santo Escobar, I think he's with Tony D now.
Yeah. So anyways, he was super awesome. And I was like, listen, like, and we found out that day, like we weren't supposed, that he was going to NXT. So I was like, what do you think of this? Like, is it stupid? And he's like, yeah, but like, it's kind of funny. And so I just kind of like went with it. And to be honest, like that promotion that I was with hated it. They didn't want it, like they didn't want me to have it.
Oh, really? That's what I was going to ask. They just kind of fought you on it, huh?
And then once I went to this other promotion afterwards, I was like on the posters and handbills and everything, they would just call me Taryn. And I was like, oh, that's not my name. Like that's worse than Sexy Sarah or whatever, like Taryn, which is my name, but it's not a cool name. And he was like, well, it's just too long and I don't get it. And I was like, well, okay. But like, I was very persistent again. I was like, my name is Taryn From Accounting. Like, now we'll shorten it up to TFA, like no problem. Yeah. But for the most part, like on posters and stuff, like I want my name, and I think people appreciate it now.
Yeah, because it's different. Yeah, that's like, so before we get into what I was going to say there, Video Bro Bobby Munson in the house. Stay tuned after Between Two Beards for the best, and I mean the absolute best MLW coverage on the internet with Papa Smokes, Bobby Munson, do a Major Love Wrestling recap right after us. Whenever we get done, they're very flexible, and we love them for that. They are great to have here. And then, Hab saying D'Angelo family. I'm touching buttons, Alex. I'm sorry. I'm now that I have it in front of me, it's like I lost it. I got it back. But I was gonna say, yeah. So the Taryn From Accounting thing, that was something that drew my eye. We joke on this show that Alice from accounting is in charge of our finances here, and she's the one that blows the budget. And it just so happened when Love Pro Wrestling started up, here's a wrestler called Taryn From Accounting. And I was like, Spencer, when were you going to let us know this would be the perfect person to use for these gimmicks that we've run with this quote unquote she doesn't want to be on screen. Alice doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to be an on-screen talent. She wants to stay pencil pushing, doing her thing, working her 9 to 5, you know? So, yeah, and you come out to that 9 to 5, and that I love it. It's awesome. And we talked in our small little interview that we had. You've been the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion since Love Pro Wrestling 1 when you beat Chris Parrish for it. And what's that ride been like for all the new fans that may have not seen that interview quite yet?
You know, like it's been awesome. I beat Chris Parrish in like a Rumble. And then I got to face off against like my BFF, Stephen Crow, which was like such a fun match because we'd never had a one-on-one match before. But then since then, it's been like Nicole Matthews, Rachel Ellering, like just beating really awesome opponents. And like it's really kind of like pushed me to go even further because I feel like if I can beat them, like, you know, I'm doing okay.
Sky's the limit, I think. Hey, Alex, before we yell at you to get out of here, rerun the interview. That was perfect. Get out of here.
Get out of here, Alex. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? From out of here, she's got my back. I'm going to find her, like, point at you, being like, come at me, Alex.
I feel like it's the made me, like, surly.
We love Alex. He does a good job here.
Alex is so nice.
Don't put that on the screen, Alex. We take care of you. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this has been wild. Oh, we got some new people in the chat. The Albanian 101. Although I love the beard, I must say it's a missed opportunity not making one half blonde. You know what? Now that you mentioned that, I'm not going to be able to unsee that. You could have you maybe did the other half, get the like checkered thing going.
That is really funny.
Which wrestler do you think needs the accountant the most?
I feel the first person that pops up is Charlotte Flair. Like, how do you afford that shit? She's taking herself. What's that?
I was going to say her dad. Okay. He still feels the need to wrestle at 97 years old.
Yeah, like, does he need some money? Because I can just lend him money.
Yeah, I'll throw him $5. I feel like if we all put in $5 into a GoFundMe, it would just be like, listen, Rick, whatever they're paying you, the collective has got you. But yeah, Charlotte Flair, you think so, huh?
What's up?
You think Charlotte Flair could use an accountant?
Oh, for sure. She can't afford those jackets, those robes. Do you know how much one of those would cost? I bet you one of those robes, I'm not lying. How much do you think they cost? $1,000, $2,000? She wears for one night? Yeah, that's a poor financial choice.
Are we factoring in that she always rocks the same gear too? She's got that gear going that matches the robe. She wears it, like you said, she'll wear it at SummerSlam and be done with it.
That gear's got to cost her $600 more. I don't know.
What do you what does she do with them then after that? Does she sell them? Does she have like a closet where it's like robe, promo gear?
I don't know, but like the fact that I'm not selling gear drives me crazy. I will.
That you're not selling gear? You're going to start selling some TFA?
Because I have enough now, like that I don't need all of it. I'm going to start selling it. Like, no shame in that.
I gotta be completely honest with you. I obviously collect a few wrestling figure things, odds and ends here. I've never thought to buy someone's wrestling gear. Is there really a market? Is there? Yes, she said yes. There's a market for it.
There's a market for everything.
So some TFA boots right up in here would be okay. What's good? We got throwback. What's good, guys? The ROH show was a killer. What a ducking weekend. I think he meant to say the F word, which is fine. Put it in the swear jar. The fucking weekend. But he's a new father, so he's probably trying to work on his swearing.
Oh,
Throwback, buddy. I can tell you as a seasoned vet, they start slipping out as the kids get older because it's like, you know what? There's 4 of you. I can't just be nice all the time.
I feel like Bayrat wrote something in the chat, but then I missed it when we popped up and left.
Okay, well, there you go. We got the tag partner. My tag partner, the Sheik, is all about the money, and he needs an account.
You know I'll be his accountant any day.
You're just using this vehicle to get accounting gigs. Am I going to be on a dark side of the ring? Taryn From Accounting scams all these independent wrestlers claiming she's an actual accountant.
Yeah.
The work became a shoot, then became a work because it was a scam. This was like the spark of it all. And here's me. And JPJ conveniently was off today. Is this how we get set up? Is this how we get Pluggo out of Love Wrestling?
Exactly.
Let's see what's going on
here. That's really funny.
I see what's going on here. We got throwback again in the chat. Brody is born, had some complications, but he's doing okay. Yeah, throwback. He's a day one supporter of ours. Just had his first son. He was a little early. I'm glad he's doing good. He'll be home tomorrow. That's fantastic, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Congratulations. I hope Brody gets to come home tomorrow.
Yes. I know my youngest son was in the NICU for 6 weeks as he was early.
Oh,
it is tough. It is a tough sled, but luckily he is crazier than all get out. I'm surprised he hasn't ran down here and caused a ruckus because that would just be par for the course tonight.
That's awesome. I can't imagine.
Oh, he's awesome. He's a little wrestling fan. He'll sit and watch with me and be like, I like that guy. But he's one of those flip-floppers. When his guy starts getting his butt kicked, he flip-flops over to the other person. And I'm like,
no, I don't for that.
I said, no, little guy. You got to stick with your person.
Yeah. I'm an Oilers fan, so I know what it's like to cheer for a loser.
Careful. We're on Canadian air here. Careful. You don't want Bret Hart getting mad at you.
Oh, man. I love Bret Hart. I love him. He's such a cool guy.
So do you call it the SummerSlam because of Bret?
I didn't know it just like popped up all of a sudden, like all these, like him saying the SummerSlam. Of course, now we have to call it the SummerSlam.
I started calling it the SummerSlam because I feel like Spencer and Zach are going to fire me if I don't.
Did nobody correct him like all those times? Or like, Bret.
Well, let's be honest. Would you correct Bret Hart? If Bret Hart walked up to you right now and said, the sky is pink, would you be like, no, it's not?
Well, listen, I saw him a couple weeks ago and I was taking a picture with my friend and him. And I had a picture with him like a couple months prior. And he like had his arm around her and like kind of pulled her into a bit of a headlock. And I was like, you didn't do that for me in my picture. And he was like, grabbed me and was like, get in here. And I was like, hell yeah. So like, I did correct Bret Hart a little bit. Like, showed me the proper headlock.
Okay. That's fair. Are we going to see Bret Hart, Taryn From Accounting, one-on-one one of these days here on Love Pro Wrestling? Oh, we got Bobby. What's Bobby saying over there? I don't want to touch the buttons, Alex. I know you're offended today because I touched buttons. While he might be 0-30 in MLW, Bud Heavy is still the most awesome wrestler today. There you go.
Okay.
Who's Bud Heavy? I know I've heard that name before. We got Rollins and Riddle cast for the SummerSlam. We will see Rollins. Who will we see Rollins? I can't read today either after his tweet of disdain.
Hey, what's tweet of disdain?
Okay, so here's the story. Riddle Rollins scheduled Saturday night at the SummerSlam. It's one of the marquee matches. They pulled Riddle. They didn't give Seth in kayfabe or worker shoot. They didn't give him a match at the SummerSlam yet. It's 2 days away. He's not happy. He said, I'm working hard, blah, blah, blah. I hope you all get to see me. Something along those lines.
Something about singing my song?
Yeah. Everybody's singing a song. He's not going to be there. I have to imagine, Taryn, from accounting. I don't want to shortchange you, like you said those promoters do. If you're Seth Rollins, you're gonna be on that show. You're Seth freaking Rollins. Like, you're one of the top draws in the company. This has to be a work, right?
I mean, let me tell you the truth of it. I'm a wrestler. I know what goes on behind the scenes. I watch wrestling. Like, I watch like the indie shows that I'm on. I watch a lot of the matches. I don't know what's real or fake. Like, when I'm watching wrestling, I'll have to turn to people and be like, is that fake? Is that real? Like, I have no clue what's going on. And like, so like when I watch wrestling, like I mark out, I get into it. So I have no clue. But I would think, like, how could they not have him on the show? Not that he's my favorite, but like still.
Interesting you say that. Let's get a question. I love talking to people in the business, if you will, like from when you watch this thing, so you told me you're not really a fan, WWE style, and then you just, you got into the business through your sister or sister-in-law. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
My sister.
Sister. That's right. But like for you today, like let's say tonight after the show, we get off, we're done chatting it up, whatever. What would you turn on? Like, what are you going to for like inspiration or do you just not watch? Because you're in it, you live it. You don't have to watch it.
I should watch. I'm not saying I shouldn't. I just don't really like, once in a while I'll like YouTube some matches and stuff, or I'll watch all the pay-per-views, and I watch like some of the bigger like streamed shows, like some of the bigger streamed indie shows and stuff like that. But like, I'm not sitting down to watch Raw and SmackDown, and but I should watch more wrestling. I think I would be a much better wrestler if I did, and I think I would like, but I just don't.
Well, I think that's fair. That's I mean, believe it or not, a lot of the wrestlers I've spoken to over the years of doing this have said the same thing. They're like, I don't really watch. I'm not sitting there week in and week out or every single day analyzing what goes on in SmackDown, because I have to imagine just doing what you do and doing your own thing probably takes up a good amount of time to promote yourself, all the things that go into the working out, the practicing, the in-ring stuff. Which brings me to the question Throwback had up there. I don't know if he redeemed any points. He usually does on those big questions, but he said, so what's your favorite live event you've been to that you haven't worked? I just got to see he's got to see his first wrestling show since 94. He went to ROH and got to see Claudia win the RO title yesterday. And security stopped me for doing some recording. Yeah, you shouldn't be recording at those shows, man. Be careful. But you know what? Brody doesn't come home. He'll riot. But so have you ever been to a show? Do you go to shows? Are you one that maybe goes to some independent shows up there and just see what's going on? Or
yeah, like unfortunately in Alberta, like I used to be like on the shows like that are happening in my area. So it was hard to watch, but I love before I started wrestling, that's kind of what got me into it as well. Is like I would go to all the independent, like local independent wrestling shows, and I would go to like, if WWE ever came to town, I would go to those and stuff. But like I just recently, so it's hard because all the shows that I would want to go to now I'm on, which sounds very
awesome.
Does it? I don't know.
That's a sweet brag. I wouldn't be humble about that at all. I'd be like, that's right.
Yeah. So like any show that I want to watch, I'm on it, like here and in Vancouver. So, but I did recently, Michael did Prestige in Portland last weekend or a couple weekends ago. So we drove down there with him, and that was such a sick show. Like,
stay booked so you don't have to get booked. You feel me?
I'm trying. But it was such a good show. Like I saw some of the best wrestling, like indie wrestling I've ever seen live. And it was just so cool. And I got to see people who I never thought, because we are a little bit deprived up here in Canada. Like we're starting to get better. But I think just with like the travel bans that were happening and the cost of flights that are happening now and flights being canceled, like we don't get to see all these amazing indie wrestlers that are coming out of the States, which is not a bad thing. Like it's opened the doors and opened the eyes to a lot of Canadian wrestlers, and we've got amazing Canadian wrestlers, like some of the best. But it was just nice to be able to see all these people that I've been following on Twitter and like been following their careers and their matches and stuff. Because I do follow, like I might not watch all the time, but I'll watch here and there. So it was just so cool to be able to see something different. And it was awesome. The show was great.
That's my excuse too, Have Guy. I don't know how to balance a budget because I'm too busy wrestling all the time. We're gonna talk back. We're gonna talk about it because people are bringing it up. Somebody had mentioned earlier, do you need to study some Zoe Sager matches? To that commenter up at the top, there we are. The real Banyan. I don't want to say that 101. If you watched our interview that we did, me and her, she's in Zoe's kitchen. She don't need to. She's ready. She's ready. I'm going to talk for her. I'm ready to go. And then we had tape training is a good old, very old school thing when he was working. That's Turnbuckle Talk. And that's a big comment. Turnbuckle making me work hard today. He didn't do too much of it when he was home. Who's living in it didn't need to watch this. Love you, Carl. Who else said? We had another Zoe. You know, if you need some Zoe. Oh, Video Bro Bobby Munson saying if you need some Zoe tapes to study, he's got you.
You know, I don't need Zoe tapes. Like I know Zoe. Zoe tapes are in here. I've given Zoe her tapes. I've given her her moves. I've taken those moves. I've trained with Zoe. Like I'm Zoe's tape at this point. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing Zoe can bring that I've not already seen. So
that's right.
I don't need to study Zoe. I know Zoe.
What else did I miss there, Alex? You threw up a bunch of comments. I appreciate everybody coming into the chat tonight, making sure Taryn From Accounting feels the love. I'm sorry, JPJ, quote unquote. You know, get out of here. You got to talk in a Boston accent. You got to yell about the Celtics and the Red Sox, and you got to say things like Tom Brady's the GOAT. You got to say things like that.
I mean, I don't know, Mark Wahlberg.
He's gonna yell at us next week when he comes back. No, but he's on vacation. He's on assignment, so I had to bring in Taryn From Accounting. What better match to do that? What better night to do that than the night before LPW 6? We just touched on the match with Zoe Sager for the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship, and she's motivated. Sounds like you're motivated.
I'm excited.
I was gonna say this is like I'm looking at the card. It's a very well put together card. Spencer does a great job putting together cards, but this is the match I got my eye on. You are the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion. There's only been one other one. I don't think you're letting that thing go tomorrow night. I'm just calling it now. Oh, talk about Harvard, the Sox, and Ben Affleck, and you will be JPJ. I don't think he's ever said anything about Ben Affleck on this show.
I will. He just got married to J-Lo.
Oh, did he?
That's big news. Yeah.
Weren't they a thing like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Then they
Go ahead.
That's
I don't know if we're allowed to. Is she allowed to do that, Real Man? One-on-one, is she allowed to make predictions for the card that she's on? Is that something that wrestlers do? I've never had a co-host and head of an event that was a wrestler that I could be like, "You're on the card we want to talk about. Can you make predictions for that card?"
Why not? Can I? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the etiquette. I mean, is it one of those things? Like, I know we had Bobby Sharp on a couple weeks ago, and he said that like wrestlers that talk about what their like goals are in the business are the ones that kind of flame out faster because it's like just kind of be in the moment, do your thing. Do would this start some beef if I was like Jody Threat versus Nicole Matthews? Who do you got? Or you got your eye on that? What do you do there?
I got Nicole Matthews.
Oh, interesting. Jody Threat making her Love Pro Wrestling debut.
Yeah, so exciting.
Right. I accept it. So does that mean like Jody's now going to have beef with you in the locker room tomorrow because you didn't pick her? Like, I got to know how this works.
Well, maybe she will. She's a cool one, though. She's a very cool one.
Yeah. Have you wrestled with her before on any cards or
yeah,
with her?
I wrestled her for WrestleCore, and it was super fun. I learned so much from that match, but she's just a cool girl. Like, she's a girl's girl. She's like down for helping other women and just like pushing other women. So I think that's sweet.
As I try to pull up the rest of the card because it was on my computer and everything went to hell. Because that's what I do here. That's what I do.
Pluggo, I have a graphic.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I have a graphic.
Oh,
What is it?
I'll play it for you.
Got a graphic. Is he not going to play it? What is he doing?
Now?
There you go. There we go. The trios, man.
I got to go with the Clandestine Society. Me. I'm going to make
I was going to say, that's a foregone conclusion. MRB, Stephen Crow, those are your people.
Oh, I might go Nicole, but I might switch it.
Uh-oh. We got Jody Threat, Nicole Matthews.
Oh, Reed.
Reed is someone that I saw at the Love Pro Wrestling 5 that I just fell in love with.
Fucking
and I want to see more of.
I got to go Bayrat and Sheik on this one.
Oh, you going against my Mo Jabron? Come on now.
I know. I'm going Bobby.
Going Bobby. I'll go TY just to be different, but I love Bobby Sharp. I love TY too. This match.
Ooh, Jack Pride.
Which one, Jack or Pride?
I like Jack.
You prefer Jack over Pride? Now, this was just announced yesterday.
I'm going to go Casey.
Casey, that was a last minute addition, kind of. I think that was quick. Spencer would have been like, oh, Jupiter Vision, hello, how are you?
Hey.
Everyone in the chat. If you're here for TFA, thank you. If you're here for Pluggo, thank you. If you're here for JPJ, you're out of luck. Forget about it.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
We don't even want you here. No, that's not true.
No more. Always bet on Bobby. Spinelli. We got Lucha Freddy saying Spinelli. Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing, like last minute. Now that could be a question I could ask a wrestler. So the card is set. They're promoting it. Last minute, your match turns into a triple threat with the likes of Casey Spinelli. How are you feeling? Are you like a little upset at, like, I'm going to call him out. You upset at Spencer for booking that? Or are you saying, all right, bring it on. The more the merrier.
Yeah, I'm saying like, way to make myself look cooler. I don't get to beat one person, but I get to beat two. Like, thick.
But your opponent, in her interview with our one and only Smart Mouth, aka Zach, said it wasn't fair to her that she got thrown into these triple threats or got thrown Willow Nightingale.
Oh, no, don't you just love people with excuses? I love it.
Is that what that is? Is that all it is? Excuses? And we're going to find out tomorrow?
Exactly.
And then Throwback saying you guys have a killer night. Pluggo, I'm pulling for you on that Brock deal. TFA, good luck on your match. Looking forward to it. Yes, and while we have everyone here, yes, Throwback, I will get back with you. We'll do something. I'll get off my Brock deal with you. I'll maybe put in a few more appearances. But I will say this, with everybody in the chat right now, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I don't know what that is for you. Is that 6, 7?
I think
Austin. That is 6 o'clock, 7 p.m. Is that a? And now I can't hear Taryn. I don't know if she can hear me. Oh, is she muted up? She's muted up. We let the dogs bark. What was I say? So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this very Twitch channel, 7 p.m. Edmonton time. Love Pro Wrestling 6. Welcome to Paradise. Will be streaming live. If you can't be there in person, go ahead on here. You can watch it for free. All you have to do is follow Love Wrestling. But if you want to chat, if you want to hang out in the chat, like I'll be in there, sending out emojis about Doritos and talking about how awesome I think Big Bad Boris is and all that fun stuff, and going TFA, TFA. I'm going to be chanting in the chat. You got to hit that subscribe button. So if you want to be in the chat for Love Pro Wrestling 6 tomorrow night, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. We have live content on here almost daily. You get to see this beautiful face. You get to see that beautiful face. You get to see it all. You don't get to see this guy except for on Saturday. Get out of here, Alex!
Get out of here, Alex!
Saturday nights, blowing off stream with Alex. But yeah, so if you hit that subscribe button right now, you'll get to hang out with us tomorrow in the chat.
Maybe I'll join the chat a little bit tomorrow.
You're saying it's going to be during your match, you're going to be like, yeah.
You guys can come out with me on my entrance. I don't know what I'm doing anyways.
There you go. You're blowing the budget. You're saying, Spenny, I got to stream this entrance for the people, for the Between Two Beards boys. We love that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not on yelling at me quite yet. He yells at us all the time. You know that, right? He yells at us constantly. Getting them quality entertainment like we did for the first 10 minutes of the show tonight.
Okay, I want to ask a question.
Oh, is it now? Is it because you're the co-host? You're going to interview Pluggo? Okay, I'm ready.
Well, I just want to know, what's a Choco Taco?
Yes, I was going to bring that up at the beginning. I had this whole thing planned out. You know, we do the how's it going? How are you? And I was going to say, all's fine in the world. My boy Hook won the FTW championship. I'm in love. But the Choco Taco has been discontinued. So we got to bring it.
It must be an American thing.
It is an American thing for sure. So everybody's upset about it. I haven't had a Choco Taco in probably a decade. It is a waffle cone, kind of like shaped like a taco, ice cream, chocolate syrup on top, nuts on it, looks like a taco. It's an ice cream taco.
I did Google it, and it looks delicious.
They are fantastic, and the only person that could save us now is Tony Khan. It sounds like a euphemism. It's not. It's like a drumstick ice cream cone, only in more of a taco form.
Can I tell you about that euphemism?
Absolutely.
So this was like maybe 15 years ago, and I had just started hanging out with this new group of girls, and I thought, okay, like these might be my new friends. And then so they were like, hey, we're going out to Taco Tuesday. Do you want to join us? So I was like, yeah, for sure. That sounds like so much fun, but I don't know what Taco Tuesday was. So I got all dolled up. And I was like ready to go. And they were like, yeah, we'll be there by like 7. And I was like, that's early, but I dig it. And so I got there, and they're in sweats, and they're sitting at this table eating tacos. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I thought we were getting all dressed up. They're like, why? It's just Taco Tuesday. And I was like, oh, I thought that meant ladies' night. I didn't know that you actually eat tacos on Taco Tuesday. I literally thought it just meant ladies' night. So I'm a dummy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But then
I don't know what the equivalent would be, like hot dog Wednesdays.
Yeah, sausage Sundays.
Sausage Sundays, just hanging out with the boys. The boys in Boston. Tacos for Taryn. That is awesome. Everybody thought that was good. Alex, we'll probably clip that. Run that on socials. We'll get that viral. We'll just make that. Maybe it'll catch fire, become a new trend where it'll be like, all right, Taco Tuesday is
ladies' night.
I mean, Mrs. Pluggo goes out for Taco Tuesday all the time with her girlfriends, so I guess it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I like that Weenie Wednesday. Somebody said.
Weenie Wednesdays. What are we doing, huh? I thought we were going out for just hanging out with the boys. No, we're actually eating hot dogs, man.
Yeah.
What do you think this is? That's fantastic. Oh, so you got all dolled up for Taco Tuesday, and it was probably like a $2 taco night or something to that effect.
Yeah,
was it very
the tacos weren't that good.
No, that's a disappointment. When you get a bad taco, like that just ruins your night.
Yeah.
Alex is back there shaking his head going, this is going to be the last episode of Between Two Beards ever.
I'm sorry, Alex.
Yeah, he's disappointed. Jesus, Alex. Come on. Green Bay. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers. F him. Tom Brady. I don't do a good JP.
Irish.
Go Irish, Notre Dame. Son of Irish, he's wrestling tomorrow night. That's going to be cool. That guy is crazy. I love
He's
that.
crazy.
Cancellations on standby for all. I'm sure there's a few people out there in the atmosphere that would love to see Between Two Beards canceled, but it ain't happening.
Never.
We got TFA now. Honorary beard, man. What are you gonna do?
I've been a beard before, and I'll probably be a beard again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Speaking of which, I just went, we ain't ever gonna get canceled. Woo! And then this face shows up. Get out of here! Get out of here! Okay, all right. I'll
tighten up your collars.
Get out of here! Oh,
Holy shit, TFA, nice beard. You fit the motif. You understood the assignment, I think is what the kids are saying nowadays.
But of course, you did not.
Yeah.
No, no. I'm babyface as they come. Hello, good to see you. Sorry I'm much later than my advertised 5 to 10 minutes. I sent you half an hour ago, Pluggo.
I was having all sorts of trouble, so I didn't even see that. I just was like, he shows. If he doesn't, we're talking about euphemisms for Taco Tuesday.
If there's ever a night that I'm not concerned about you spending your money poorly, it's when the champ is here. Okay, you're covered off as far as it goes. There's a lot of times that you spend your money well, but you spend too much of it. And like, this is the best spent money you could have made, buddy. Well done.
We
done.
totally, for the last hour, for those that are uninitiated, Spencer Love, founder of Love Wrestling, Love Pro Wrestling, comes on every Thursday night before the upcoming LPW shows and talks about those cards. He's here tonight, though, because, we've been sitting here for the last hour specifically talking about budgeting, financials.
Good.
I know what a check. I know what
that's what I like to hear.
Is.
Yeah.
Balance sheets. You're good to go now.
Ready for this one? Diversify.
Yeah.
Portfolio.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
TPS report.
She taught me how to type boobs into a calculator.
Oh, good. That better have been assignment 1.
Most of you're looking angry.
Good. Then you've again, Pluggo, now you're the one to understand the assignment.
Stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
James Bond?
Sure. What a Roth RIA is? Is that a thing?
I literally know.
I don't know
these things.
No, here's a fun fact. I failed 2 math courses, one in college, one in high school. So I'm probably the least qualified person here.
So you probably are yelling at me weekly and not having any clue what you're talking about. No idea what those numbers mean.
Pro Wrestling 101, man. The one who's going to win is the loud one. And I adopted that theory early.
Didn't drive beard on. I'm disappointed. Absolutely. Taryn has 100% set the bar for future guests. Like,
there's a reason she's the champ and I ain't. Okay, you put in the extra effort, you go above and beyond.
From now on, we're just
I didn't.
You don't have a beard drawn on? Get out of here.
At this point, this isn't even effort. Like, I'm just staring at myself the whole time. I love it so much.
Any chance we'll see it tomorrow night?
Honestly, Spencer might see it tonight because I'm like headed there right after this, and like.
Oh, you better believe I'm sticking around for that now. Yeah, I'm sticking around.
Pro stalker. Yes, I pushed that button, Alex, because that one was funny. That made me laugh. Beardless ones. Yes, 100%. Like I said, from now, it's going to get to the point when we get this today. We talked about Charlotte Flair earlier before we got on, Spencer. She's going to come on and we're going to be like, "Where's your fake beard? Get out of here. You're off. You've been bumped."
Sorry, Sha.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Jeez.
Are you here to talk about the Choco Taco loss that we suffered down here in America? Or you have some bigger fish to fry tonight, Spencer? You're here for a bigger reason, right?
Hey, man, don't think that we aren't feeling the chocolate taco loss above the 49th parallel. I am just as fond of a good ice cream sandwich, a good ice cream taco, a good ice cream blank of choice. And it's disappointing. It was definitely a hot seller. Much like The Fiend, it is the release that it's sold. It had the merch movement, and it's gone. And we can't really explain why. We've just got to accept it. So yeah, we're disappointed. That ain't just a purely American thing.
I'm just making sure. I don't know what goes on up there. You never let me come up. It's like I'm banned
That's
from the
true.
country or something. I don't know.
More expensive to fly up across the border. That's it. That's all. It's fiscally irresponsible.
It's fiscally. That's a word I learned today as well. Fiscally.
I'll find it in the budget.
Yeah. See.
All right, there we go.
Alice better
TFA, you and I, when you get here, we'll work on that. We're covered off. Pluggo, we'll see you here soon.
Alice better be watching her back. Better watch her back. You know. She might be replaced. Anyway, you are here to talk about Love Pro Wrestling 6. Welcome to paradise.
Of course.
Every time we have you on, how excited are you for this? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time.
I'm psyched. I'm psyched. And it's something that I've said every single time. You open with the same question and I open with the same answer is that I think that we're going to go above and beyond and deliver another great show. We've had what I think are some of the shows, not just of our careers or our 10 years of promotion, but some of the shows that we've put on, I would put up against the best of the best in wrestling anywhere. I'm incredibly proud of what we've been able to do in humble little Edmonton, Alberta. But that being said, all joking aside, like, we've got such a dedicated crew, whether you're looking at the ring crew, whether you're looking at the wrestlers, whether you're looking at our producers, like, they've been sitting here for the last 2.5 hours, getting the music cues and getting all of that sort of stuff done up. That is, for me, man, like, proper preparation prevents piss poor results. And I think that the prep that we've put into it has led us to deliver what I expect to be another excellent show tomorrow night. And on the last Friday of every month up until the end of 2023 at the Rec Room South Common, with the exception of December, because everybody wants to take their holiday season off.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm psyched, man. It's always cool to be able to do this while I'm at the Rec Room, because I start to get like the Christmas morning feeling, ironically enough, talking on December, like watching the ring get set up and seeing Liza Hall's music play for the first time here. Same goes with Jody Threat. Ava Lawless, we hadn't heard that for a couple months. Nicole Matthews, same goes. And like, they're all people that I love for very different reasons, whether it's wrestlers and people. And yeah, I'm excited. There's the short answer for you. I'll ramble a lot and I'll sum it up with 2 words. It's going to be great.
Well, JPJ, do you have any questions for the boss?
Fuck Paul O'Neill.
I almost ran that clip today just for shits and giggles, but I thought I'd wait because Paul O'Neill Day is coming up pretty soon. But yeah, so we have your love. Oh, hello.
Hey, Goose.
Honk, baby.
Taryn, you look fantastic.
As always.
Goose making his love, his Between Two Beards debut. This Between Two Beards debut. Watch.
For what it's worth, he can't hear you all that well, given that I've got the headphone in right now.
That's fine.
I'm just going to tell him that you're saying they're saying terrible things about you.
What most people do.
Ouch! Oh my goodness!
Ouch! Alrighty, I'm gonna promo the show and then we can let you run in.
Okay.
Goose, will see you in a bit.
See, Goose beard, Spencer, no
fair.
beard. And you just talked about all the dedication and all the preparation, and your Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion understood the assignment, took care of business, and you're over here baby facing it up. Well, you've already touched on a couple of the matches coming up. For you, like, you're going to sit down, you put this card together. So, of course, you are about all the matches. You put them together. You wouldn't have put them together if you didn't like them. But if you had to pick one that you're specifically excited for this card, which one are you leaning towards?
Again, man, and I'll ramble a bit, but the few that really stick out for me, I'm super excited for Nicole Matthews and Jody Threat. They wrestled for WrestleCore. I think it was about 3 weeks ago at this point now. It was the first time they'd ever locked up, and was such, for me, a great match in and of itself. But more excitingly for me, was such a great teaser for what I think we're going to get here in less than 24 hours. They're two of the best of the best. They're very comparable in a lot of ways for me, in that they just go out there and like beat the shit out of each other. I know, Taryn, you can speak from experience on both ends as far as that goes. But very different personality-wise. I think you look at Nicole Matthews, and yeah, she's brash, she's loud, she's got attitude, but almost in like a much more calm, cool, reserved, calculated way. And you look at Jody Threat, and like the wild child, man, ain't just a nickname. It's how Jody Threat lives. Like, you watch her wrestle and she's a cannonball, man. And I'm so excited for that dichotomy. And that our main event is something that I think any pro wrestling fan anywhere should be excited about. These are two of the biggest factions, two of the most dominant factions. Again, TFA, you can speak to the clandestine society, but like, the Rads have torn it up, and what they've been able to do, whether it's prior to LPW or whether it's in their short time here, everyone's short time here. It's going into show number 6. But what they've been able to accomplish is incredible. And despite the way they go about it in a lot of ways, I'm damn proud we've been able to be the first ones to put this match on involving the Rads. And then not just to kiss ass, but like Zoe Sager and TFA. I think TFA has gone out there, man. And like, there's a reason. If you listen to Punk and Pile Drivers today, you listen to any podcast coming out of the West Coast, man, there's a reason that everybody's talking about Taryn. She's gone out there. She's proven that she's the best of the best against the best of the best. And, you know, again, maybe a little less than 100% as far as the way it came about, but Zoe stepping up, Zoe laying down the challenge, and Zoe coming out with something to prove. Like, honestly, man, there aren't many people and dangerous in like the going out there to kick some ass ways of the word. There aren't many more people more dangerous than a motivated Zoe Sager. I really stand by that. So I'm damn excited for that one too. But
I
like
might be
said,
biased, but
you could throw a fucking dart at each of them.
But Taryn with a beard seems a little dangerous to me. Just throw that out there.
I you know, it's one of those things, and how often do you and I talk about it, Pluggo? Like, one of my favorite things in wrestling is to talk for 45 minutes about the greatness of a match or the greatness of a pro wrestler. But sometimes all you got to say is look at the results and look at who TFA is defended against and look at who TFA is successfully defended against. Like, there's one undefeated professional wrestler in LPW, and it's the individual with the beard below me. And that's for a reason. So yeah, man, I'm excited as all hell for all of them. Hell yeah. I said it off the bat. I said it while we were on the 24-hour stream. You have not spent your money more wisely. I don't think. And that's full compliments to everybody who's been on before, but I stand by our champ, man.
I was just excited she wanted to do this. She was like, I'm down. And I was like, really? All right. Like, you know what you're getting
That's
into?
fair. I know when I got my emails from you to hop on the show, I was a little tentative.
I love it. So much fun.
But all of them, man, it's going to be a blast. You know, Bobby Sharp came out here and tore it up last month. It was impressive as all hell what that guy was able to do in a first match back. And now he's going up against the guy in T.Y. Jackson that, again, is one of the most talented individuals out there. And you talk about people on the rise. You talk about your people on the up and up. Like, T.Y. Jackson's going to make a major name for himself. Not that he hasn't already, but continue to build on that over the next little bit. We've got that. The rematch and the tag is going to be fantastic. I was so excited for Ava and Liza in a singles match. But like I said yesterday, like, how do you make a match involving two of Canada's greatest pro wrestlers even better? Put another one of them in there. And we've got Casey Spinelli coming in, unfortunately, because another booking came through. But I'm very happy that because of something else happening, we've got the opportunity to get another great pro wrestler inside the walls of the rec room, man. So, yeah. The first three that I mentioned really have like a special place in my heart, for lack of a better way to put it. But dealer's choice. You can throw a dart at this one and be excited for any of them.
That was my attempt at throwing a dart. That wasn't a dart though, but that was
as cheesy as they come, Pluggo. That was whistle dog. Well done.
This is what we do. This is what we do here. We just throw things. We've been yelling at Alex all night. You know, this is what happens.
I don't think he deserves it. That being said, I haven't seen any of the show to this point, so I don't know if Alex does deserve it or not. But
yeah,
I don't think he deserves it.
When we weren't studying our budget textbook, when I wasn't doing the little Scantron thing for the test that you're gonna see, yeah, we were yelling at Alex. It is what it is.
What do you expect? That's what he gets.
That's what he gets. Comes on screen. He gets yelled. She's doing her best JPJ impersonation tonight.
Yeah.
Alex, get off the screen!
Get out of here! Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Austin, don't mute that. Austin is pissed at you now too, Alex. Way to go. It's interspecies at this point. My goodness.
They've got an interspecies wrestling. Bob Animal Anger runs out of Montreal, I believe it is. Somewhere in Quebec. He's the man, by the way. If ever got the opportunity.
The run-in.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've talked about, I probably have asked this question in some form early on, like kind of feeling out the talent, so to speak, and trying to see what you have. But now you're going to be six shows in after tomorrow night. The road starts to become clearer, right? As you get to book these, you're like, I know what I've got here. I know what I've got here. And it just becomes like almost plug and play, or is there still a lot to prove on this roster, in your opinion?
Dude, it's a cop-out answer, but a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. I think that we're incredibly competent. If we were to run our next 500 shows with the roster that we've currently got and the people appearing on tomorrow's card, last month's card, whatever it may be, I'd be damn confident that we're going out there with one of, if not the best rosters in Canada. That being said, man, there's still so many talented people across the country, across the world, that I would be super excited to have here. I would be honored to have here, frankly, in a lot of cases. I'm sure a couple names come to mind, like, a Speedball Mike Bailey, a Veda Scott, an Adam Ryder, Elliot Tyler. There's a ton of people that I would love to have out here. Goose,
I got one.
I have back. Yeah, Tony Baroni.
Judas Icarus. Tony Baroni. But Judas Icarus, come on.
Exactly, but that's exactly
you got to listen to your challenge champ. Book that.
Well,
you don't want to be like Seth Rollins over here not getting heard.
I think what we're hearing is Judas Icarus has to step up. It's a challenge championship. I'd love to have him here.
Yeah.
Again, all kidding aside, like TFA's made the point for me, is there's so many great wrestlers. There's so many assets to a pro wrestling promotion, personally and professionally, that I would love to have here. And I love the idea, Charlotte Flair, bringing her back into it. Iron sharpens iron. And if people are here and, very confident in the spots they've got and very excited to be here and have a consistent booking with us, great. And if we've got the opportunity to push those people with bringing in new individuals or having wrestlers that have never been here before or people have never wrestled before out here, that's an opportunity I want to provide our wrestlers, in the sense that let's have people wrestle new people. You get better wrestling different people. But B, as a promotion, our doors are open. I'm open to a conversation with anybody and everybody within reason. We want to bring the best of the best. I think is the best way I can put that.
Is this within reason here? Video bro Bobby Munson saying maybe the Saskatchewanians, I don't want to say that wrong, will have to come invade LPW one of these months. Watch out, Alberta. Remember, we have Brock.
Bobby, if you bring Brock Lesnar to Love Pro Wrestling, I'll take the pin. I'll take an F5. I don't give it. Cool. Done. Over.
if Bobby can get Brock Lesnar to Love Pro Wrestling, I think that Bobby immediately becomes the flagship, and I think there's no more use for me.
And I don't even feel bad telling you that flat out, Pluggo, that yes, he would, and you should feel fully confident accepting that.
I'll get my salmon jacket like Mark Henry, give my retirement speech. Just be
all
like,
right.
If that happens,
and then show up in F5 Brock.
Yeah. Oh, please. I still look over my shoulder for Holden Albright. Do you think I'm going after Brock? Come on.
Should be looking over your shoulder for Trent's mom, Sue.
That's true. She did come at me.
True. She's got some power. She's got some power.
But at least with Trent's mom, Sue, at least with Sue, she came at JPJ and myself. Everyone else has been, it's all Pluggo's fault all the time. Let's just pick on him and beat him up.
And by design.
Yeah, exactly. It's like take out your strongest link. I get it. Isolate me, cut off the ring. I get it.
Exactly. It's like the Hydra. But yeah, to bring her back, doors are always open. And I'm always interested in having a conversation if somebody wants to come out here, prove that they're among the best of the best, because I'm incredibly confident with the roster we have. But there's always room for improvement. There's always room for new blood. There's always room for whatever XYZ you choose to put on it, man. Let's just put on great pro wrestling shows.
And you do that. And I'm not just blowing smoke because you're sitting here and your challenge champion is sitting here. I think you guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, when we were talking about the Canadian pro wrestling scene, this has opened my eyes to a lot of awesome performers. This is a bucket list thing for me to get to talk to TFA. I've always wanted to do that. So yeah, excuse me, co-host with the best beard of the night. What do you got for the boss? This is your opportunity. You can air the dirty laundry. You can start some beef.
Yeah, Pluggo tried to ask for a raise publicly, and that didn't go well for him. I'll state that one.
When did I ask for a raise publicly?
That's not such a bad idea. I think after what we've done tonight, we both deserve a raise.
And Alex popping in and out of the stream, this is emotional damage.
Actually, you know what? I think that's where we'll be able to find the money. Is we'll take it out of Alex's salary and we'll split it evenly.
You happy with that? I'm happy.
It's a Rickyism at its finest. We're getting two birds stoned at once.
We've been doing those all night.
It's all water under the fridge at this point, guys.
Alex, we're taking money. There's no
Ah,
way.
get out of here throwing stuff. My
Thank
goodness.
you very much.
All right. So TFA, do you
Water
have
would be great.
anything for the
Thank you.
boss man before we let him promote this amazing show and get out of here? Because it sounds like he's got a lot to do tonight.
You know what? I don't have much. I don't have any requests,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
In a sec, I'm just doing a podcast. No worries. It's okay.
Yeah, come on in. Hey.
Our helpers at the fine venue of the rec room.
That's
Nice.
You don't want to main event. You don't want like only green M&Ms in your dressing room.
You know what? No, like I feel like Spencer takes care of me and Spencer takes care of us. And like really, Spencer, just keep on giving me these awesome opponents and like I'll keep proving to you why I am the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge champ.
Hell yeah. And you've already done it in spades, friend. I'm proud of you. I've told you that a million times, but I'm proud as hell.
I wish she would say that stuff about us.
Well, there's a reason they don't. Sorry,
But
fun.
also I would like a tab at the bar, actually. If we're asking for things, I want a tab at the bar.
All right.
Alice, put
All
it
right,
on
we can work that into the contract renewal.
the expense report. Just put that in the bottom line there, Alex.
We'll put her in the private chat. Yeah, that one's marked down. Don't worry, I totally read those again.
Oh, do you read those? Oh shoot, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, we had to pay for Warren's like Canadian raspberries on Saturday. Like it was a mess. Those are expensive.
Well, that's the tough part is like your $4 American is like our $30,000 Canadian at this point. So
it's awesome.
It's the conversion rate. That's where they get you.
Well, Spence, we've bet your ear for quite some time. Like I said, I know you've got a ton of stuff to get prepared for tomorrow because I do say this wholeheartedly with 100% certainty. It is one of the best independent wrestling productions I've ever seen. And obviously a lot goes into that. So why don't you do what you do best? Promote LPW 6 Sports one more time. Tell the people all about it. And then we'll get you out of here to do your promoter duties.
Well, Pluggo, you know what it's a beautiful day for? Professional wrestling. But tomorrow is going to be an even better day for professional wrestling, especially if you're in the heart of Edmonton, Alberta, because we're back. We're better than ever. That ain't just stealing from Eric Bischoff, but it is the next date in our consistent run of dates through 2023 at the Rec Room South Common. LPW 6 presents Welcome to Paradise. We're still going with the punk rock motif. We're still having fun out here on South Edmonton Common's finest venue. And I'm excited as all hell. We talked about the matches, but a quick rundown is too damn hard for me. Excalibur does it better than I do. I'm so damn excited to be able to present you the Clandestine Society versus the Rads for the very first time ever. 3-on-3 trios match. TFA Defensor Challenge Championship against Zoe Sager and what's going to be one hell of a tilt. People have gone out of their way to call that a match of the night, and I wouldn't be, I'm not opposed to that. On top of it, Nicole Matthews takes on Jody Threat. We've got Bayrat Gorani and Sheikh Shabazz with, of course, the nefarious Dr. Kyoto taking on Eminem, Mars, and Mo Jabari. I'm excited as hell for Bobby Sharp taking on T.Y. Jackson. We've got so many goddamn great matches coming at you in the heart of Edmonton, Alberta. So if you've got the opportunity to be here, we would suggest you don't miss out. We would suggest you get your tickets early. You can find that on our social media, wherever podcasts are played. Videos are viewed, tweets are tweeted, Facebooks are faced. I don't know. We'll go with that one later. But you can find tickets there. You can find us on the book. You can find us in the metaverse. I think that's where we're going with this one next. You can find us in Meta. But quite genuinely, to sum it up, friends, I'm damn excited that we get to have the opportunity to present some of the best in Canadian pro wrestling in Edmonton. Hope you take the opportunity to come out and see it live. If you can't be here, tune in on twitch.tv/LoveWrestlingCA. Very easy to do so, because if you're tuned in right now, you're tuning in tomorrow, less than 24 hours from now. We'll be live. Thanks for tuning in.
Boom.
Yeah, big stud. Do you want the goose? He's right here. He can hop on.
30 year fixed mortgage.
That's
standard
brokers.
Standard tax rate.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
All right, I'm gonna pop out of the room and then it'll look like I'm popping back in, but it's gonna be the goose.
We're gonna have the goose popping in. Okay, for a hot
minute. Goose, do you want to hop in? Goose will hop in for a hot minute. I'll be right back. He'll be right back. I'll be gone. TFA, I'll see you in a bit. I'll stick around so I can see the beard.
Yeah. I got
have
it
to.
down there.
I'll see you soon, and I'll make sure the bar tab's open.
Look, we're doing a Pluggo. We're making waves.
We're making
waves. Done. I'm getting drinks now.
This is what happens when you come on the beers. Between two beers, we make shit happen. That's why we are the flagship. All you got to do is ask. Everybody in this business, you know what? Don't be afraid to ask for stuff, because guess what? What we're saying here is no. He didn't say no. You're getting drinks. Essentially on, well, Spencer, but I'm going to say it's on us.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I think he's coming in to do a little honking. I gotta stop doing it. Dog, baby.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, Ghost.
Hey, Spenny Love, he grew a beard. I love it.
Boy, yes, it's about time, eh? He's fitting in with me and you and Taryn from Accounting.
Yes, he's trying to be cool. He's trying to be one of these bearded people, but he's not doing a great job.
You look tremendous, Taryn.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm very happy.
What do you do today,
Goose?
What brings you to this neck of the woods?
Well, I didn't have any shows scheduled with any other wrestling companies in town, so I decided I was going to put out my name there and say, hey, I'm available to come and help out if you'd like. And Spenny was like, well, we're going to be setting up the ring at 3 o'clock, so the old Canadian Goose is down here assisting with ring setup. As any greenhorn wrestler worth his weight would be doing. So
I love it, Goose. To me, like, I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to head down for ring crew, and like I don't do it. Like, I love doing ring crew, especially when you have like the right people. You play music, you have some laughs. Like, as long as the energy is positive in ring crew.
Well, Zoe's been dropping shade all night about the fact that you were too superstar to show up and help with ring crew, for sure.
Listen, somebody's got to carry the weight of 2 beards, between 2 beards.
Zoe's not going to come on the screen and start is she going to start a beef? Zoe's there. You never come on. We'll squash this right now.
No, she's like literally in the ring working on things she wants to try to do to Taryn. Yeah. Taryn knows what's up. I have every, like, don't get me wrong. I'm very excited for this match because I have seen both Taryn and Zoe wrestle probably more than anyone else in Alberta, because I've been there for a lot of their training matches and whatnot. And both girls are stupendous, absolute workhorses, and are going to put on an incredible match that's undoubtedly going to be worth seeing. And I can't lie to you. Like, you see the two girls going at it, and like, even when you're at training and stuff, there's a little bit of a competition going on. So I'm very, very curious to see who's going to come out on top tomorrow, whether it be Taryn from Accounting, who is undeniably my favorite wrestler, against Zoe Sager, who I recently teamed up with. So I'm very curious to see who's going to win this match.
Aw, thanks, Goose.
Being the astute journalistic integrity person that I am, what I heard you say was that Zoe Sager is jealous that she didn't get the spot on Between Two Beards tonight. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too, but that's what I also knew.
I feel like if Zoe came on to Between Two Beards, and don't get me wrong, I have all the affection in the world for Zoe, but I don't feel like she would have gone the extra mile to grow a 5 o'clock shadow for the show here tonight.
Goose, everybody say Goose, honk, honk. Well, we'll just say this, and we'll just say, that's what she's going to have to bring that little extra tomorrow night to get this Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship off of TFA. It's going to be a tilt, as Spencer said. I'm looking forward to it. Goose, which match on this card are you most looking forward to before we get you out of here, my friend? Sounds like
TFA versus Zoe. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I think like I said, the two girls are incredible, and I've seen them go at it more than anyone else in Alberta. And whoever tunes in to watch this match tomorrow, whether you're tuning in or you're actually here at the rec center, the rec room, South Edmonton Commons, you're gonna get an amazing matchup, like one of the best that can possibly be booked on any card in Alberta.
Aw, thanks, Goose.
I was waiting for her to say something because that's
I know,
No.
sorry.
high praise. High praise.
Austin's
No.
going crazy. But thank you so much, Goose. I'm really looking forward to this match, too. I think it's like this particular match on this particular stage for this championship has been like a really long time coming. And I think it's like finally we're coming to a head of like, you know, like Goose said, we've trained together. We've got this little bit of like competition, well, big competition now, but there's always been that kind of stream of competition between everything we've done. So I think we're finally like gonna prove it tomorrow once and for all, and like, you know, prove to ourselves and each other, like, you know, we're a competition for each other. It's a team sport, but at the end of the day, like, it's not. It's me versus her. So
Yeah. And I mean, I will be totally honest. Like, I'm not trying to get any heat with TFA here, but like, if either girl is the underdog in this match, I would have to say that it is Taryn from Accounting. You know, Zoe's got a little bit more experience.
obviously you've not been watching Love Wrestling there, Goose.
That's fair. But like, I'm just saying, like, Zoe's been wrestling for a very long time, and she is very good. But I like I say, I've been training with TFA and with Zoe, and I've seen TFA come so far, and I know that everybody that trains with her is super proud of her. So, if anyone could possibly vanquish Zoe Sager tomorrow night, Zoe Sager or Taryn from Accounting has my vote.
Thanks, Goose.
Goose is in here starting beast. Well, Goose, we appreciate you coming by, hanging out with us for a little bit.
I appreciate you guys letting me come on here. I don't know if I've ever appeared on Between Two Beards or not. I should. I do have a beard, so we should set that up for the future.
Between three beards right now, but that's how we do. We definitely will.
Sounds like a porno.
This whole show sounds. We're talking about everything. Well, Goose, we love you. Tell the people where they can find you before we get you out of here, so we can finish up this lovely episode of Between Two Beards. Taryn's running.
I apparently can be found at Spenny Love on Twitter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm at the Canadian Goose KS on Twitter. There, you can find me Kyle Shaw on the Facebook and whatnot. The Canadian _ Goose on Instagram. Yeah, I'm on all that stuff. So if you just search for the Canadian Goose Wrestling, I'm sure you'll stumble upon me.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, honk, my friend.
Honk to you too, bud.
We'll talk soon, brother.
Yes. I look forward to seeing you very soon. And TFA, hopefully I'll get to see you tomorrow. And good luck against Zoe, because like I say, I mean, you've got your work cut out for you, but I believe in you.
Thanks, Goose.
Oh, you can yell at Goose.
I'm going to exit the situation here.
Before she gets mean. Oh my gosh, that Canadian Goose was here. What a wild stream. What a wild night. It's Benny Love. We got a little bit of time left. I know we talked a little bit about this and that and the other. Yeah, we're not going to go we're not going to go match by match, but she said she watched the big ones. The SummerSlam is this weekend. Are you looking forward to any particular match, or are you, like you said, just excited for the whole night?
Okay, tell me some, and I'll tell you if I'm excited.
Well, we got Brock Lesnar, Saskatchewan's finest, according to Bobby Munson, versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match.
Not excited.
Bobby Lashley and Theory for the U.S. title.
No, not excited.
Is there anything else? What else we got? We got Street Profits.
Yeah, that might be cool. Didn't they do a match?
With Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee, which doesn't make any sense there.
Okay. Sorry, is that crunching so annoying?
Are you crunching something, or is that the dog?
The dog. Can you hear it?
Oh, maybe you're. Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what's more annoying. I guess we could ask the fact that your dog's eating right now, or that I couldn't get the stream to work.
No, it's this stupid toy.
Oh, very nice.
But like, he's just. Yeah, anyways.
And I think isn't it Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch?
I literally feel like I just watched this show. Did we not just watch this show?
Yes, we did. That's every match on this card except for like 2 or 3 is a rematch because we're getting Rousey and Liv Morgan, which isn't technically a rematch, but the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. No, so actually, no, I don't seem to be that excited about any of them.
And that's fine. That's allowed. You know who did an awesome deep dive into the SummerSlam card this week on Love Wrestling? Carl, our buddy, Turnbuckle Talk, Tuesday
Right
night.
on, Carl.
You go check out Carl. You come here. You know what we're going to talk about to round out this show?
Taco.
Tacos. I was going to say Seinfeld because I was going to pull back the curtain here a little bit. So we do, again, I mentioned it at the top of the show, patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. We've been doing these Love Pro Wrestling interviews with the talent of the shows, talking about their matches. And Taryn and I sat and tried to make a 5-minute interview work. But after we were done, and we sent it over to our buddy Alex here, and he chopped it and diced it and sliced it. We just got shooting the shit, and we were hanging out, and this is how this became to be. And then you mentioned Seinfeld, and I was like, that's my best friend right there, Taryn from Accounting. We're going to jive on that. So we usually do drafts here where we pick 5 of whatever. I don't want to get into. I just want to talk about what's your favorite Seinfeld episode, or give me like a handful of them.
Yeah, there are a handful of them. I think one is the airport pickup where they have to pick up Jerry and Elaine. And then like Jerry ends up in first class, Elaine ends up in, coach or whatever. And then
George and Kramer at the wrong.
They have to go to different ones. And then George buys the Time magazine. And I think that's one of my favorite. Do you remember the backwards episode where they go to India for what's her face's wedding? What's her name?
Oh my gosh, what is her name?
Sue Ellen Mishke.
That's right. And the only reason that they went is because Elaine said she invited me knowing I wouldn't show, so I'm showing up out of spite. And then George refused to take those boots off for the entire
they made him taller.
Weekend. They made him an inch taller.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So if you're still in the chat, you're hanging out, and you like Seinfeld, drop some Seinfeld comments on us.
Yeah. Okay, those are 2 of my favorites. Obviously, the Soup Nazi's really, really good. Like, it just is.
I just watched yesterday the one with Kramer when he adopted the highway, and then Elaine's trying to get the flounder, so she's in the janitor's closet. George loses the keys in the pothole. And yeah, that episode is just wild.
Yeah, and they tried to make the double lane highways.
Yep. And he's like, comfort cruise, this is so luxurious. Then he turns out ruining everything, blows up Newman, an all-timer, in my opinion, that one.
I also really I think I like these like kind of spotty ones, like when Kramer goes to LA.
Oh, Junior, you think these hands have just been soaking in ivory liquid?
Yeah.
Kramer's wanted for murder. That's a fantastic episode.
Yeah,
so I was like, I have to have Taryn from Accounting, a wrestling champion, on my show to talk about Seinfeld.
This is my dream episode. Talking about Seinfeld. I could do it forever.
The goal here is to talk about as little wrestling as possible. We talk Choco Tacos, we'll talk Seinfeld, we'll talk whatever. We don't care.
Okay. Can I tell you, when I was in high school, which was about when Seinfeld was finished, I ended up kind of writing not a whole episode, but I wrote like the ideas of like where everybody was going for a comeback episode.
Oh.
And it's them in jail. It would be like an episode of them in jail. And it's like not a whole lot. Like I don't have like a whole lot, but it's just like Elaine is obviously like everybody's lord. You know what I mean? Like everybody's Elaine's bitch. She runs the show in her cell. And then Jerry's just Jerry. Like Jerry will always just be Jerry. But George is like a little scaredy cat, like always like, was scared of everybody. And Kramer's like the wheeler and dealer. Like, you want cigarettes, you want noodles, whatever you go through Kramer.
Jerry would be just trying to clean the cell the whole episode.
Yeah.
He'd be complaining that his cellmate is just too messy when he shivs somebody.
Yeah. What's
the deal with all this blood? Yeah. Do good impressions, but yeah, that would be.
You can't keep a clean cell? What are we, animals?
Yeah, Alex said, "What's the deal with these guards?"
Yeah.
Will that ever see the light of day? Will we ever see?
No, never.
No, that maybe on
my little fan
TikTok or something.
I
see those now. People make them now where it's like, oh, Seinfeld set in today's, like
aren't those great?
Jerry on Tinder, like, try what I matched with this person, and then George is always having issues. George is awesome.
I know. I love George. I think him and Elaine are my favorites.
Okay, that's what I was gonna go with. Like, who's your favorite character? Who's your non like core 4 favorite character of the series?
Probably George's dad.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, his mom and dad, like, together.
Yeah, that's a good pairing. That is definitely good. I can't beat that. I was gonna go with Mickey, Kramer's little buddy.
Oh yeah, Mickey's cool. Mickey's funny.
Those two always have such good chemistry. I wanted that girl.
Yeah.
What's their names? We don't know. We can't wear the same shirt. We'll look stupid.
Or the one where they're doing those acting where they have to act out the illnesses.
Yeah. Or the one where he's trying to act and Kramer can't put the pants down and he's like, sit down. And he's like,
he's pushing.
Sit down, I said. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, on that note, I wanted to talk Seinfeld. We had to talk Seinfeld. This is also your show. Is there anything else you want to bring up tonight before we call it a night so you can get down to the rec room and get started and get focused up for tomorrow night's big match with Zoe Sager?
No, but I do want to come back as a guest, like a proper guest with you guys. Obviously, later on down the line, I'm sure people are fucking sick of me by now. But eventually, I want to come back. I want to meet JPJ. I want to chill. I want to see how your guys' show really works.
Oh. Well,
carrying it on my back for an hour and a half.
That's true. You have been, because that is how this show works. You show up, my internet crashes, things go haywire, people show up, pop in, pop out.
My dog barks and cries.
Dogs bark. Alex jumps on the screen. We yell at him. This is pretty much how it goes. But after the show, hang out. We'll talk. We'll exchange some ideas on a future real quick before you get out of here. But we'll just do this. We'll call it a night. It's an early one for us. We got Roller 6 saying, good luck tomorrow, TA. I'll be cheering for you. Just please don't hurt Zoe's cute face too much.
What a weirdo.
All I'm going to say is, hey, it happens. Hey, get out of here.
Get out of here, Ryan.
Get out of here, Ryan. Hey. No, we appreciate everyone, the new faces, the old faces. I can't thank everybody enough for sticking through all the technical difficulties we had. Literally, couldn't have happened at a worse time. If it would have happened 15 minutes sooner, we would have been good to go. But that's all right. That's show business. That's what it is. So before I do all the plugs that I need to do to plug all the things that we need to plug here at Love Wrestling, Taryn, tell the people where they can find you before we get out of here.
Well, you can find me at Love Pro Wrestling tomorrow night on the, twitch.tv/Love Wrestling CA. Yeah, I did that one good. And then in August, I will be at SOS in Tacoma. And then I will be at Lucha Libre Cuatros for Rickshaw Wrestling. Oh, no, WrestleCore. That's at the Waldorf on August 13th and 14th. And then on August 20th, you can catch me at Nation Extreme Wrestling in Vancouver at the Nat Bailey Stadium. And then on the 26th, again, for Love Pro Wrestling.
As your challenge champion.
Still remaining.
That's the theme of this whole thing. Well, she plugged the show tomorrow. I'll plug it one more time at the Rec Room. If you can't make it, be here on Twitch. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be in the chat. You can watch it, but you want to interact. It's on the screen. It's cool. You'll get to see my face during the intermission. I assume he might have a clip or two of me. You never know. You never know if you love what I do or love what we do. Who knows? Maybe we'll put this clip. Austin wants to hear it. He wants to see it. But yes, do that. Also, if you want to check out some of the interviews we do, we got a Patreon, a Patreon. Austin, where can we find you, my man?
Ooh, you can find him annoying. I hope he shows. Look at that stupid little tail. I had to shave it today. Look at that thing. He was so mad I had to get it shaved. Sorry
I
to
would be
interrupt.
pretty mad. No, I'd be pretty mad too. No, this show, like I said, I don't know what you thought you were walking into, but that is okay. Stuff like that, we roll with it here. We just go with it. We are not professionals by any stretch. We're not going to sit here and just, if you want that good wrestling analysis, that professional feel, stay tuned after this for Major Love Wrestling with Bobby and Papa Smokes. They dive deep into MLW. We got Turnbuckle Talks on Tuesday, like I said. Smark and Friends. There's a lot of professional people on this channel. Well, we ain't it. Between two idiots. But yeah, you can find me at Pluggo _ on all social medias. Just look for Pluggo. You'll see this mug. You can find this show page at B2Beards on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. I don't know why we don't have an Instagram. Maybe I should rectify that. There's only so much socials in the day. This has been an amazing show. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. I feel terrible. We're going to set this up as soon as this episode ends with Taryn. We're going to get her back on because it needs to be proper, it needs to be professional. JPJ needs to be in the driver's seat, making sure that we don't screw this up. He's like the father figure of this episode, him and Carl. But yeah,
There's going to be a couple of kids fighting in the back.
That's right. Let me also real quick pay our bills. Make sure you go on to Twitter, RK Athletics, RK Athletics 1, Rich King. He's a Love Pro Wrestling staple. He'll get you in the best shape. Does he look as good in person with them abs as he does on them socials? Because some things
like
are
that. So fit.
It's like I have roll. He's got ab. Like
Same.
his abs got abs. So if you need to get like in shape like Rich, or you just want to tone a couple things, hit him up, Rich King. Also, manscaped.com. Go to Manscaped, 20% off if you use the promo code Love Wrestling, and you get free shipping worldwide. You want to make sure your partner appreciates you. You don't want you're down there looking like here, but they also have the 4.0 lawnmower. It's beautiful. It's waterproof. It's got a light. No slippage, no nickage, all that fun stuff. You don't want to nick those balls. You don't want that. You just don't want that.
I don't want that. You don't want that.
Nobody wants that. But they also have other things like ball deodorants and toners and shower gels. They've got all your grooming needs, whether you are male, female, non-binary. It doesn't matter. They got you covered. 20% off, free shipping worldwide. Manscaped.com. Use the promo code Love Wrestling.
That sounds amazing. I want to check that out.
You should. I personally, if we're going to pull back the curtain, I use the ball deodorant. I love it. It's nice. Sometimes you just need a refresh down there.
100%.
After you're sitting here grinding all night for a podcast, sometimes you got to, your partner will appreciate it.
The fact that bidets are not commonly used in North America kills me.
They're surging. People, that's starting to become a more normalized thing over here.
Yeah, but we got to get them
all the time
in every bathroom. I like the ones, the hose thingy that used to come out in your kitchen sink before it was.
That used to, they still do. The sprayer nozzles?
Yeah. Well, you can get those attached coming out of your toilet. It's like a hat. You've got full control. It's amazing.
Spencer, I think we just figured out a way to make back all the money that we've spent on this show. Yeah. Love Wrestling bidets.
Yes.
With the attachment sprayer, with a nice healthy stream. We can't have these low flow bidets.
No low flow. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Alex is sitting there shaking his head right now, wanting to know, because Alex is a professional. We got a professional producer. We didn't get some scrub off the street. We got the real deal. I said, listen, you got to come hitch your start of this wagon. So
Yeah.
I think on the bidet talk, I have to say, Taryn from Accounting, thank you once again for coming on the show, bearing with me through all of the trials and tribulations of my Boost Mobile internet.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, anytime. This door is always open. All you have to do is let us know when you're available and when you want to come. We'll just have you come on and talk about bidets or Seinfeld episodes or Choco Tacos. Nothing. We won't even talk about wrestling. Because we already know here Between Two Beards, foregone conclusion, they're holding that challenge championship till the end of time.
That's right.
So it is what it is. But all right, on that note, we're out of here. We'll see y'all next Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow night. Love Pro Wrestling 6. Welcome to Paradise. We'll be in that chat. And then, yes, fuck the Boost Mobile.